everybody, Jeff Stone here with day 91 of the year 2015 at magicreviewed.com. Today was a day of saran wrap on the toilet seats, food coloring dye in the toilet tanks, flour-coated donuts, and I don't know what else. My 11-year-old son, his favorite day in the world is Christmas and April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Oh, man, he was all over the house today making pranks on everybody. It was fun. Anyway, today we are... Oh, I almost grabbed the wrong one. We are doing Phoenix Ashes by Asier Kidam and David Blanco. So, if you're familiar with the ashes on the arm, you know, the idea is you have somebody write down a name or a word or something like that, a freely selected word or name. And then you burn the paper, and then you rub the ashes on your arm, and it spells out the word on the arm. That's a trick as old as the hills. That's the legend has it that that's how that Houdini did that to Bess when he first met her. It was before they got married, and he revealed her father-in-law's last name or something like that, or her father's name or something like that. Anyway, I don't know if that's true, but the trick is that old. So this is different in that you get to, rather than produce a written word, you produce a playing card. So the effect, I have to put my cards up. The effect is that you have a card selected, you tear it in half, you burn half of it, then you rub the ashes on your arm, and there you go. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, that lighting's a little weird there. That's a bizarre angle, but that's what you get there, okay? I'm going to dismount here. I don't normally do this, but there we go. So there's a good shot, I think, of it. Anyway, I think that's a first in the history of magicreviewed.com, taking the camera down. Anyway, so if you saw there, it's pretty faint. Now, it's been on my arm for a while, and it doesn't rub off easily. I mean, I'm rubbing it pretty hard there, and it's staying on there. Oh, I should have just done that. Anyway, a baby wipe, though, takes it right off. I don't know, baby wipes are great. I have them laying around, because I always have messy kids in my office. So anyway, a baby wipe takes it right off. What it comes down to, you get gimmicks to make either a 10 of spades or 4 of clubs, and then you get another thing that goes with it. And then you need one thing you have to supply, but I guarantee you, you have this. It's not a magic thing. And if you're familiar with the method that Houdini did, then you probably already know what that other thing is. But everybody has this. If you are live in a modern world where you have a computer, then I guarantee you have this other thing. It has nothing to do with computers, but the only people who don't have this thing are people living in caves, literally. So you have this thing that you need, this stuff, and you combine that with the stuff they give you, and you can make this on your arm. So what's nice about this is, just like the ad copy says, you can have your arm examined before the effect. They can feel it, they won't feel anything, and they can see it and touch it, and then you can do the effect, and it appears on there. So the only problem I really had with it is this extra stuff that you have to supply. They said they tested it with tons of different brand names, and that everyone they tested worked. The brand name I happen to use is a very, very popular, it's probably the most popular brand name of this product. It's probably the number one. If I told you what the product was, this brand would probably come to your mind first of this product. So that's what I used, and it worked, but as you saw, it was pretty faint there. And that was my third attempt. My first 2 attempts, I couldn't see it at all. I just ended up with a black arm and black palm and ashes all over my office. So in order to do this, you have to use a certain amount of this stuff. And the amount that they said to use was nowhere near the amount that I needed to use. I'm probably not exaggerating when I say 10 times the amount of this stuff was needed, that 10 times more than what they said was needed. Now, this stuff is, I mean, when I say 10 times the amount, I mean, you know, if we're talking what's a good way to explain it without tipping anything? Right? Here's a stupid example. If you're talking grains of rice, well, 10 grains of rice is 10 times the amount of 1 grain of rice, right? It's still not a lot, 10 grains of rice. So this has nothing to do with the rice, but to get the point across, it's still not a ton of stuff, but it's way, way, way more than they say. And you have to experiment with it. And that's what they said in the DVD, that you have to experiment with it and play around. The catch is you need to make sure you're very comfortable with it, because if you don't get it down properly, the only way you're going to know is when you go to perform the effect, and then it's too late. And so make sure you test it out on your arm multiple times, and you play around with the volumes of stuff that you need, and the device that makes the imprint of the thing on your arm. Make sure you play around with it and practice it. And each time I did it, on my third time, I got a darker impression. I still haven't got it quite as dark as it was in the actual performance on the DVD that comes with everything. But I imagine I would get there if I kept doing it. I just didn't want to make any more mess on it. I'm wearing a white shirt, you know, and I own almost all my shirts are white, so I just didn't want to get ashes all over it. So not almost all my shirts, I should say I have more white shirts than any other color. Is a better way to say that. Anyway, if you like the effect that you see in the ad trailer, that is what you get. I mean, it looks that good. It's just a matter of, can you get the impression that dark? Everything they claim about the product is absolutely true, and it works the way they say. It's just, except for that thing I mentioned about the extra stuff, where you're going to have to, you know, play around and fiddle. And even that works the way they said, because they warned you that you're going to have to fiddle around. So the one, well, not the only, but one real major problem I have with this is you can watch it in Spanish or in English. If you watch it in English, it's his name is Asier Kidam, I think is his name, and he's speaking in Spanish, and then there's a voiceover guy, right? Now, let me just preface this by saying I appreciate the effort to make it available in English so that non-Spanish speaking, or better said, English speaking people can watch it. I do appreciate that. However, you got to do it the right way if you're going to do that. So it's got Asier Kidam speaking in Spanish, and then the voiceover guy translating. Now, this voiceover guy has a very thick Hispanic accent. I'm not sure if it's what dialect of Spanish is, but it's a very thick Spanish-speaking accent. So his English is very heavily accented, and you can hear Asier Kidam in Spanish louder than the translator guy, and so they're competing. They didn't turn the volume down enough on Asier Kidam, and it's very frustrating to watch. Now, luckily the DVD is very short, and most of the stuff's pretty visual, but it was hard to listen to, and it was hard to hear. Number one, just forget about how good the guy's translation was. It was just hard to hear him because the guy speaking Spanish was talking too loud. But it was hard to understand him too, because he had a thick accent. And you know, when you translate things that are technical, sometimes things get a little lost, and some of it was a little confusing. And there's a couple parts where I'm like, what is he saying there? Because I really needed to know for that particular moment. So that was an issue. If you speak Spanish, then don't even sweat anything I just said. But it was a little bit frustrating. So due to the learning issue there, I had a little problem with that, and the fact that it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit more effort than they might lead you to believe in the DVD. And they're not being dishonest or anything like that, but it's just going to take a little bit more work on your part than you might expect to get this thing to work right. But it will eventually work right. So, having said all that, final verdict, 3.5 stars, stone status of gem. That's it for this one, folks. So, now guess what? It's time to like the video, subscribe to my channel, listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is right at the beginning. Oh, this is Unconditionally by Mia Pfirrman. This is the voice performance, and Unconditionally. Who sings the original one? I don't remember. Sorry, I forgot. Anyway, I think it's Christina Perry, or I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, I'm a big fan of The Voice. I watch it every season, and I'm actually currently watching it. They just finished the knockout rounds, and so the live rounds start, I believe, tomorrow night, Wednesday night. So, I'm looking forward to that. Anywho, thanks for watching, folks. Tune in tomorrow, day 92, second day of April, where we are looking at Leading Thoughts by Chris Rollins, 7 Mental Miracles. It's mentalism. I'm always down for watching some mentalism. So, we'll look at that tomorrow. Until then, folks, thanks for watching. Peace out.